Hey everybody, welcome to Around the Twist episode 355, I think we're on. It's February 10th, 2019, and we have a little introduction to make. She's not in frame, but here's Lily. If you've been on Instagram, or the few of you that I have on Facebook, you will have seen her. Lily is the Yorkie puppy that we just got. So we're kind of skipping ahead to various and sundry. We're taking things out of order if anyone hasn't been here before. But just in case she pops up or I start yelling at her for whatever reason. In the Dark, over on the Any Questions thread, had asked, when will you get a new puppy? The answer is 2 weeks ago. So my parents came out to visit and brought with them a little Yorkie puppy. Yeah. And when we got her, she was a little over 1 pound, 13 ounces. I'm still scared I'm going to break her. We've just put her on the kitchen scale, my yarn scale, the other day, and she is up to 2 pounds, 2 ounces. So this is all of her right there. I know, Lily Bear. I don't hold you like that. I know. Oh, you poor thing. She is very sassy. I'm sure at some point in the future you will hear her barking. She has a very high, shrill little yap, don't you? Yeah. And she likes to lick. So, this is our newest baby. And she has definitely not replaced, but carving out her own spot. And now I'm all teary. Ah! Coffee solves everything, right, Lily Bear? So it's been a crazy few weeks. Those of you that saw on the Ravelry board, I put up an announcement saying I wasn't going to record for a few weeks because the crazy was happening. I took my old car, to the mechanic that I've basically had my entire adult life, and it got a death warrant. They wouldn't even let me drive it off the lot. So they were that scared the brake lines were going to go and were amazed that the brakes hadn't gone out. So I just got that taken care of. Yo, schnurz. Okay. We donated it and it got sold, so yay. That we are out from under that, but it meant a very quick flurry of, oh my gosh, I need to buy a new car. That got taken care of. My parents were bringing Lily out, but were delayed by snowstorms, so she got to stay in Iowa for a little while longer. I had to get the kids, the twins, registered for kindergarten. How are they old enough to be going to kindergarten this fall? That's just not fair. And then Miss Lily Bear showed up, and I haven't had a whole lot of time for knitting because it's been keeping her from pooping on everything, right? You wouldn't think a dog this tiny would poop as much as she does, but oh my goodness, she's like a little caulking gun. It goes in one end and comes out the other. Good lands. Okay, anyway, knitting, right? Knitting and crafting. Lily Bear, can you lay quietly in my lap? Can you do that? Here we go. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so what's on the needles? I have one new thing and only one thing on my needles currently. Hi. Yeah, you just lay down. It is riding around back here in my cupcake bag, box bag from Stitch by Jessalou. Are you going to help? I wish you guys could see this. She's like exploring everything. This is mitts, fingerless mitts that I promised to the dietitian that I work with at my job as part of her gift for Secret Santa. So I finally finished something else and put her mitts on the needles. I'm using the Cratchit Garter mitts by Susan Newhall, which I've done before. Oh, many moons ago. Good lands, I don't even know how many years ago. I made a pair for my friend Sarah, blue ones that she loves and that her family constantly tries to steal. So this new one, yes, hi, you are very inquisitive about this, is going to be in this gorgeous, gorgeous red. No, do not chew my needles. This is called Blue Blood, is the colorway name. It is from Tempted. It is her Feisty Girl base, and that's 100% superwash merino. I used some leftover Socks That Rock lightweight to do the provisional cast on. And I am ready to start the thumb gusset. I was able to measure it on Megan's hand, which her hand's about the same size as my hand, slightly wider maybe. But that is ready. So it runs this way on the hand. And then you knit a thumb gusset and you keep going around. It's a free pattern, so I'm not giving away secret sauce or anything. But you're knitting this way across the hand rather than going around and around and going up. No, do not. And this is why I haven't been knitting, because I just fished yarn out of her mouth. She will chew anything. So I'm using a US 1, a 2.25 no millimeter needle. I should have left her in her box. She was being quiet and she was settling down. But no, I wanted to show her off to you all. Get your nose out of my bag. That is mine, not yours. Remember we had this talk about places that aren't your room? I felt like I was in Turner and Hooch. Does anyone remember that movie? Tom Hanks and a big slobbery dog from back in the 90s. Every time she follows me into a room and I have to shoo her out, I chase it with, "This is not your room," right? And she's never been down here in the basement, except to be carried down, so she's very excited. She's doing the Yorkie shake, kind of like the Chihuahua shake, where they just kind of quiver. It's not because she's cold, she's warm. You're very warm, Lily Bear. Huh? Yeah. So that's what I've accomplished. I just started those, oh gosh, middle of last week, and that's all the knitting that I've gotten done. It's really sad, actually. But it's just, she is a full-time job, and I haven't had a chance to like relax on the couch with like my knitting and get something done, because she is constantly moving and constantly looking for a place to get into or something to chew on or any of the above. Yeah. You are not being very camera ready today. What is going on? Yeah. You are schnurtzing everywhere. Hi. I should have left you in your box. Anyway, that's the only thing I have actively on the needles that I've been working on. I haven't touched the stained glass blanket. But I do have an FO of the week. And that is the Manly Socks for Hubby, which I think is the second pair that I've called the Manly Socks for Hubby, but they're done. Finite. Finished. The color is not accurate at all. That's better. But just so you can see the variegation through them. This is Blue Moon Fiber Arts Socks That Rock Lightweight in Strange Brew. It's a lot of shades of brown, navy blue. There's a teeny bit of teal in it, but it's mostly colors he can see. It's a simple top-down vanilla sock pattern with a 1x1 rib, heel flap. Obviously these sock blockers are too small for it, but that's okay. And yeah, top down, 1x1 rib, heel flap, 64 stitch, knit up on a US 1.5, a 2.5 millimeter needle. And I started them December 19th and finished them February 1st. Which again, if it wouldn't have been for all the crazy, I probably would have gotten them done sooner. So yeah, I'm hopeful that this one will settle down sometime. Yeah, no. Her little paws are so cute. They're itty bitty little baby toe beans. I know people are gonna ask, sorry, more Lily. So I told you she weighs a little over 2 pounds right now. Breed standard is 5 to 8. The vet's already seen her and said, I don't think she's hardly going to even hit 5 pounds, but we're not really sure. She's obviously gained weight since she came to us. There you go. There you go. Look right there. Right there. What's that? What's that? Yeah, you're so cute. Oh my goodness. So pokey things, I've done a little bit. I have to set you down. I have to set you down. Will you stay put? You better stay put. I started working on a new scrub top. This was a couple weeks ago. And all that I've gotten done, or managed to get done, because I figure I could wear this into February sometime. Well, here we are, 10 days into February, and this is all I have done. I have sewn the neckband onto the front. That's it. I mean, that's a lot of work. That's like the major chunk of work for the scrub top, honestly. Once I'm past that, the rest is pretty much cake, but it does take time because I have to press a lot of seams. But it came out fairly smooth, you know, I'm still trying to figure out a way to reduce bulk down here around the point of the neckline. I think this one's about the best one I've done, and it's still not great, but thank God I picked really good thread that matched. So it doesn't show that much that I did a terrible job. Or that it's all kind of higgledy-piggledy, and yeah, that's The other thing, I have also been working on my cross stitch for the We Do Geek from Fangirl Stitches on Etsy. So I think the last time I had shown you guys this, I had Ming the Castle. Well, now I we have fun storming the castle, and then I started to go up above with the odds are ever in our favor, and I have the ah, so the O and the circle part of the D, and then I ran out of thread of that particular length of thread. Stitching this up on 25 count even weave from Joann's. I think the color is called Mushroom. And yeah, it's going. It's going to take a while for me to do, especially with the Lily Bear. Right, Lily Bear? Right? She's like, yeah, whatever. Put me down so I can poop somewhere. That's my life again. It's like having a baby all over. But I have to show you. Look at the little... Hi, Lily. Look at the little toe beans and the floof. I love it. I love it. And she still smells like a puppy and has puppy breath. And it's wonderful. Nasty farts, though. Oh, my goodness. Could clear a room, this little one. Yes. Yes, you can. And you have. Yes. So, obviously, I answered in the Dark's question from Moving On to Various and Sundry. The Any Questions thread over on Ravelry if you have something you want to ask me. When will you get a new puppy? Done. Done and done. She also said R.I.P. to the Kittree socks. I have the Shark Week kit, but I look at it and my eyes cross. That's my thing with the grapes one. I can't remember what it's called. The grapes kit that I have as well is, I'm going to go back up. Dillback over on Ravelry asked, hi Karen, can you recommend any podcasts that do knit-alongs? I'm keen to join one as a way of staying focused, as I usually have a few projects on the go. I do understand that it can be a lot of work for the podcaster, but my usual podcasts don't seem to be doing any at the moment. At New Year, I thought there would be lots to choose from. Thanks for any advice, Dilly. Well, Dilly, I can't tell you because as I answered in, I think, the last podcast, I don't watch a whole lot of podcasts. Like, I listen to the Knit More Girls because it's something I can listen to in the car while I'm driving from participant to participant, patient to patient at my job. But I really don't participate in them. And I don't like the added stress. My knitting is supposed to be relaxing. It's not supposed to be stressful. And when you impose a deadline on me, it becomes stressful. So even if people are doing knit-alongs, I don't do them. So I'm not the person to ask. Please, anyone else want to ring in, post something in the thread for this week's episode so Dilly has some ideas for knit-alongs. Sorry, I didn't get to you any sooner on that, Dilly. Let's see, I think we can do one more. Yeah. Oh goodness, that's a long one. Okay. So I haven't read this, obviously. So here we go. Artcom over on Ravelry. Janet from Canada posted, hi Karen, my husband and I drink our coffee every morning from our favorite mugs. Mugs you introduced us to, handcrafted by Sarah House, I believe. This Sarah? Yes. Our daughter finished university and went back to school to get her BSCN in nursing. You had much to do with that choice and we are forever thankful. I've asked you questions along the way, favorite nursing shoes, about your choices in nursing. Our daughter has chosen to work with long-term care and memory impaired. Thank you. Questions. You mentioned your favorite zoo. I believe it was the Dorley Zoo in Omaha. How many days would you recommend for a visit? We're driving from Ontario, about a 13-hour drive, and camping at Mahoney State Park nearby. You've not steered our family wrong yet. We look forward to our zoo visit in September of 19. Second question, if you have time. As a mom to now adult children, I admire your productivity with crafting. You must be exhausted much of the time. Yeah. Do you see your knitting crafting as a way of maintaining a sense of calm when things seem to spin out of control around you? My children were 2 years apart in age, and I cannot fathom parenting two little people the same age at the same time. Thank you again, Karen, for taking time over the years to answer my emails on behalf of my daughter, who herself now is the girl who's waiting for the right somebody in her life, turning 30 this year as she builds a career for herself in nursing. Aw, Janet, thank you. So yes, the Henry Dorley Zoo in Omaha is amazing. It has expanded so much since we moved out to Colorado, and I can't wait to get back there again. It's definitely something you could do in a day, but it would be all day. Like, be there when they open, and you'll probably be there all the way through until closing and maybe get to see everything. So if you don't want to try to cram everything into one day, and if you're camping as close as Mahoney, I'd say you could split it over 2 days if you don't mind paying 2 admissions. But if you're looking to be thrifty and save money and only want to do a 1-day admission, then you could, it is feasible to do in 1 day. It is a lot of walking. There are hills, FYI. But since we left, they've, right before we moved out to Colorado, which is almost 5 years ago now, they had just redone the aquarium and added the Stingray Bay. Since then, they opened up the African grasslands exhibit and moved all of the animals from the African continent out to there. So rather than having the big cats in the cat house and the giraffes over here and the elephants over there and hyenas here, whatever, they're all out in more like a savanna grassland area. Obviously, they can't get to one another. There's no apex hunting going on, but that's new. They're just now, I think, this year breaking ground for a new bear exhibit, if I remember right. Make sure you go through the Desert Dome and all of the lead jungle, the lead rainforest. The lead rainforest doesn't look like it's much from the outside. It just looks like this squat little brick building. It is a 3-story rainforest inside, and amazing. You could just wander through that for hours. The Desert Dome, you can wander through, and then you go down to the basement, and it's all the nocturnal animals down there, which is really cool. A lot of amazing exhibits, and it's really, really well done. Honestly, we went down to the Denver Zoo this year, and we were kind of disappointed in how the animals were in cages rather than environments, because the Henry Dorley Zoo does things so well. It kind of ruins you for every other zoo you'll ever go to, but it's an amazing zoo, and I really think you should go. Camping at Mahoney State Park. Mahoney's got some fabulous trails to walk as well. Just be careful because there is poison ivy in spots, FYI. And if you're into letterboxing, there are a ton, like at least 50 or 60 letterboxes scattered throughout the park. So if you go over on Atlas Quest, I think it's atlasquest.com, atlasquest.org. Do a Google search for Atlas Quest and letterboxing if you want to do that and find some fun little treasures along the way. Just FYI. Let's see. Second question. Oh, do you see my knitting crafting as a way of maintaining a sense of calm when things seem to spin out of control around you? Yes and no, because it can just also be added pressure of, I need to do this for the show, and the kids don't understand. Not really. Nap time is kind of hit or miss. Today they're actually napping. I could have gotten stuff done. But instead I'm recording because it had been over a month since I recorded and I needed to get back to you guys. So here I am. And I try to craft in the evenings after they go to bed just to, again, yeah, to get that sense of calm. But sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. It just depends on how the day goes. Depends on how work was. Now that I'm working 5 days a week, I don't have those extra days off. And my weekends off are very packed with trying to get all the stuff done on the weekend that I wasn't able to do during the week around the house, the chores and the laundry that is never ending, and cleaning and everything else. So yes, it's starting to get a little more chaotic than it was even when they were toddlers and I was having to chase them around more. But that's okay. And of course, now she falls asleep. There she is. Sound asleep in my lap. So I guess I'm going to stay down here for a while. Do some crafting down here. I've got my coffee. I've got my knitting. Got my stitching. Guess I'll do something. Okay. So since she's asleep, I'll let you all go. Hopefully until next week. Happy knitting.